I woke up at 2 a.m. feeling someone watching me. Not my dad, not my little brother. Something tall, standing over my bed. I didn't look. I knew if I looked, something bad would happen. Then I felt pressure on my bed. Slow, deliberate, like someone was leaning on it, getting closer. I pulled the blanket over my head, eyes wide open in the darkness. The pressure kept increasing. I was rolling onto my shoulder blade from the weight. My blanket had a tiny hole in it. I looked through it. A black figure was standing directly over me, blocking the light from the ceiling. And I knew, somehow, that it wanted me to turn around and look at it properly. I'm Alvin, and this is Common Ground Horror. I was 16 when this happened. My cousin on my dad's side came to visit. We hadn't seen them in years. My dad had called them about working on a construction job in downtown Atlanta. He needed the help, and I think he wanted to reconnect with family. My cousin showed up that afternoon. He was older than me, mid-20s, I think. Seemed like a solid guy. He declined the construction job, said he already had work as a truck driver and it was going well. My dad wasn't upset. He just asked if my cousin wanted to stay for dinner. All right, my cousin said. My stepmom went to the grocery store to get ingredients while my dad, my cousin, and I sat around watching TV. Nothing special, just family time. When my stepmom got back, she realized she'd forgotten something, an ingredient she needed for whatever she was making. She asked my cousin if he'd mind going back to the store to grab it. He said sure. I asked if I could go with him. I wanted to get out of the house for a bit. He said yes. We got in his truck and headed to the store. The drive there was quiet. Small talk about how I was doing in school, what he'd been up to. But on the way back, I told him something I'd been keeping to myself for about a week. Something I hadn't told anyone. I told him I'd been sneaking downstairs at night to play my PlayStation. My dad had rules about screen time, especially on school nights. But I was 16, and I thought I was clever enough to get away with it. I'd wait until everyone was asleep, then creep downstairs, turn on the TV with the volume low, and play for a couple hours. It was fine at first, but after a few nights, I started feeling like someone was watching me. The living room is set up so the TV is against one wall and the couch faces it. Behind the couch is an open area, the kitchen, the hallway to the downstairs bathroom, and the staircase. I never kept my back to that open area. I'd sit sideways on the couch or on the floor so I could see behind me. But I'd still feel it. That sensation of eyes on the back of my head. And then I'd turn around, and there'd be a dark shadow figure standing in the back, near the hallway or by the stairs, just standing there. It wasn't a trick of the light. It wasn't my eyes adjusting. It was a figure, human-shaped, tall. It scared the hell out of me. I'd jump up and turn on all the lights, almost blowing my cover for sneaking down there in the first place. The figure would be gone once the lights were on. But that wasn't the only weird thing. My little brother was potty training at the time. He had one of those training potties with a sensor in it. When he used it, it would play a little song or make a sound. Positive reinforcement. The sensor only went off when the metal plate inside was pressed down. When he peed or pooped, it triggered the sensor. But late at night, while I was downstairs playing, that toy would go off. The song would start playing from the bathroom. I'd get up, heart pounding, and check. The potty would be completely empty. No one in the bathroom. But the sensor had triggered somehow. After that happened a few times, I'd pack up my game and go back upstairs, too scared to stay down there. My cousin listened quietly as I explained all this. He didn't laugh or tell me I was imagining things. He just kept driving, nodding slightly. Then I told him about the night that scared me the most. It was a school night. Everything was normal. I went to school, came home, did my homework, and ate dinner with my family. Normal routine. That night, though, I couldn't sleep. I wasn't anxious or stressed. I just couldn't fall asleep. Something was keeping me awake. But when I finally did fall asleep, I woke up at around 2 a.m. I still remember it like it was yesterday. The fear that ran through my body that night, I'll never forget it. When I woke up, I felt it again. Someone watching me. And no, it wasn't my dad or my little brother. I knew it wasn't them. It felt like a tall figure standing in my room, watching me. I don't know who, and I don't know what. But I knew, somehow I knew, that if I turned around and looked at it, something bad would happen. I was lying on my left side with a sheet pulled up to my shoulder. My eyes were wide open. I wasn't blinking. I was too scared to move. Then, all of a sudden, I felt pressure on my bed. You know when your parents lean on the edge of your bed to talk to you and you roll backward a little from the weight? It felt exactly like that. But it wasn't sudden. It was slow, soft, deliberate. The mattress was sinking down slowly and steadily. The only thing going through my mind was that whatever this was, it knew I was awake, and it wanted me to look at it. So instead of looking, I pulled the blanket over my head. My eyes were still wide open under the blanket. The pressure kept increasing. It kept pushing down further and further. I was rolling onto my left shoulder blade from the weight. Whatever this was, it was leaning over me, getting closer. The blanket I was using had a tiny hole in it, just a small tear I'd never bothered to fix. I kept my eyes half open and took a peek through the hole. My dad's house has a floodlight in the backyard, motion activated. It had turned on, probably a squirrel or something running past a sensor. The light was shining through my bedroom window, not too bright, just a dim glow. My room was still mostly dark, but you could clearly see the light reflecting on the ceiling. But when I looked through that tiny hole in the blanket, I couldn't see the ceiling. Whatever it was completely blocking my view. A black figure, standing directly over me. I could see the outline, the shape of it. It was right there. I shut my eyes tight and tried to go back to sleep. I don't know how, but after a couple minutes, I fell asleep. Maybe from pure exhaustion. Maybe my brain just shut down from fear. I woke up the next morning drenched in sweat. My sheets were soaked, and my pillow was damp. I didn't tell my dad. He had alarms on the house, every door, every window. If someone had broken in, the alarm would have gone off. But it didn't. Whatever had been in my room didn't trigger the alarms, because it didn't come through a door or window. When I finished telling my cousin all of this, he slowed the car down. He looked at me. His expression was serious, Not scared, but knowing. That doesn't sound too far off from what some of your other cousins have told me, he said. I stared at him. What? He pulled into my dad's driveway and put the car in park. I think there's something watching over our family, he said quietly. My stomach dropped. What do you mean? I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. But other family members have told me similar stories. Like what? Your aunt saw a figure standing at the foot of her bed. Your other cousin felt someone sitting on his chest in the middle of the night. Your uncle's daughter saw a shadow in her room that didn't match any object. He looked out the windshield, then back at me. I don't know what it is, but it's been with our family for a long time. I felt cold. What do I do? He was quiet for a moment. Then he said something that stuck with me. Be careful. Don't taunt it. Don't make fun of it. And don't speak to it directly. Just ignore it? I asked. Yeah, just ignore it. Don't give it attention. Don't acknowledge it. That's what it wants. We sat there in silence for a moment. Then he grabbed the grocery bag and we went inside. Dinner was normal. My cousin stayed for a few hours, then left. I didn't bring it up again. But I never forgot what he said. And I followed his advice. I'm 24 now. 8 years have passed since that night. I still feel it sometimes, that sensation of being watched. Not all the time, but occasionally. I'll be in my apartment and I'll feel eyes on me. I don't turn around. I don't acknowledge it. I just keep doing what I'm doing. And after a minute or two, the feeling goes away. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why it's attached to my family. But I know my cousin was right. It wants to be acknowledged. It wants you to look at it, to speak to it. And I refuse to give it that. I've talked to other family members since then, casually brought up weird experiences. Almost all of them have a story. A shadow in their room, a feeling of being watched, pressure on their bed, footsteps when no one's there. My aunt mentioned it once at Thanksgiving. She said her grandmother, my great-great-grandmother, used to tell stories about the Watcher. She didn't elaborate, but she said her grandmother warned her, don't look at it. Don't talk to it. The same advice my cousin gave me. Whatever this thing is, it's been with my family for generations, maybe longer. I don't know if it's protecting us, or feeding off us, or just observing. But I know one thing. As long as I ignore it, it leaves me alone. So that's what I'll keep doing. Ignoring it. No matter how much it wants me to turn around. What do you think it was? Do you think it was all their imagination? Or do you think something is really watching this family through generations? Let me know in the comments. If you've lived through a nightmare you can't explain, I want to hear it. Send your stories to commongroundhorror@gmail.com to be featured on the channel. This has been Alvin for Common Ground Horror. Until next time, sleep well, if you can.